Hello, namaste everyone there. How are you today? Hope you all are fine and you all are waiting for today's class. Do you know what's the topic for today? So please guess. So you all are fine, aren't you? You all are ready for today's class, aren't you? So yes, today's topic is tag question. Okay, tag question or questions tag. So it's on page 84 and 85. Hope you all are ready now. So let's see. I'm going to put some examples, a sentence card, a sentence chart with some sentences on the board. Let's see. So we are ready for learning, aren't you? We are ready for learning, aren't we? Sorry. So Julie never comes late, does she? We haven't finished Unit 7 yet, have we? Babies love sweets, don't they? Suresh must have had his dinner, mustn't he? So Pari can't speak English, can't she? Now, what are tag questions? Now, you might have noticed some short questions are here at the end of these sentences, statements. It could be imperative sentences as well. So, aren't we, doesn't she, have we, don't they, mustn't he, can't she? What do you think these are? So, these are obviously, certainly these are tag questions. So, simply we can say what are tag questions? Tag questions are short questions. It is different from, they are different from regular questions like what are you doing? Are you listening to me or not? So, the first one is what are you doing? WH questions. Are you ready or not? So, what is it? Yes, no question. Now, what are these? Now, just we see auxiliary and subject pronoun here. So, what are these? These are short questions, or let's say questions, or let's say tail questions which are attached to, or let's say which follow statements are also imperatives. So, we will show some more examples later. Okay, so the same questions. So, what are they? So, they are short questions or tail questions because they are not as long as WH question, or let's say yes no questions. Okay, they are short question or a tail questions, and we generally use it in spoken language. Okay, when we speak with somebody else and in conversation, while conversing, while talking with somebody else, we use tag questions as a short question on what is the purpose. You might be thinking of it. So, purpose is that when you want to confirm information that you think is true, like it is raining, isn't it? Like you want to get confirmed about whether it's raining or not, then that is now the first purpose is for making confirmation. So, whether it's raining or not, so it's tag question, is it, and the other is to encourage a reply from the person you are speaking to. Sometimes what we want to do is we want to get involved the speaker you are speaking to in the conversation, means we want his or her involvement in our conversation. That in that case also we use tag question. Okay. So, short question, spoken language for confirmation or for encouraging somebody in conversation. These are the details related to tag questions. Now, let us see some, before we move to the fundamentals or let us say rules of tag questions, now let us deal with some, now exercise is given here, simple exercise, do not worry. So, the first one is identify and underline. We need to do two things. We have to identify and underline each of the question tag in the following examples and see how useful tags are. Okay, so we have to underline and identify. First identify and underline. So breezes, there are two in conversation. For the first speaker is breezes and the second one is Biren. So they are talking to each other. So it's Saturday today. It's Saturday today, isn't it? So what? It's Birjes says it's 2 o'clock. Why don't you turn on Mega Mix? They are talking about some program, favorite program. So Biren, so you can turn it on yourself, can't you? That is your favorite program, isn't it? So Breezes, don't be so mean. You know the understanding of mean means like stupid, or let's say so disgraceful. Like don't be so mean. You are very nice to me, are you? You are never nice to me, are you? So Biden, you are just a lazy bones. Now what do you mean by lazy bones? Means like someone who is very lazy. Okay, he doesn't want to work hard. A person is called a lazy bones. So you know that, don't you? You can see I am busy. Now just busy. No one calls reading a silly story busy, do you? So hold your horses means, so what does it mean? Hold your horses means wait a minute, wait for some time. Will you? I know you don't want to see it anyway, do you? Okay, students. So these are dialogues. So between two Breezes and Biden. Now what do we need to do is we have to underline and identify them. Are you ready? So what do you think? It's the same conversation. So which one do you think in the first exchange? So it's Saturday today. So which one? Hope you all are thinking, because we saw some examples as well. So isn't it? Is it the one that you are thinking of? So what? It's 2 o'clock. Why don't you turn on Megamix? So here I think this is the one you are thinking of, and the third one, isn't it, right? So what about the other? So is it the one you are thinking of? Are you? And the other one, don't you? And the other one, is there any left? Yes. Do they? Okay. And will you? So do you? So you see, isn't it, can't you, isn't it, are you, don't you, do they, will you, do you, what are these? So these are short questions, tail questions, so used for confirmation or to encourage someone in the conversation, okay, and so they are used with statements or sometimes imperative sentences as well, yes. So imperative sentence, statements and imperative sentences. Imperative sentences means the sentences that start with verbs. Now next, so it's the one, right? The same slide I have underlined on the board here. Now the second exercise, supply appropriate tag questions, question tags for the following sentences. So there are altogether A to K sentences there. Anudan never works hard. Someone has come. So let him play the music. Don't run. Raj Kishore hardly recognized us. There was a lot of traffic. There are a lot of people. Let's have some tea. Let the hermit convince the minister. Let's wish for his long life. No one knows me there. So students, can you do this one? Obviously, some of you might be thinking that they are too tough. So let me show you. That's why I have come here with some rules here to help you, some guidelines here to help you do these. So are you ready? So let's see. So rules are fundamental of tags. So don't worry, we will do them later. So rules are fundamental of tags. Now you saw different things here, different sentences here. So you might have noticed some things there. I will talk about those rules taking the with reference to these sentences. The first one, affirmative sentence, affirmative statement, negative tag. Means when these statements are affirmative one. Right? When they are affirmative one, we use negative tag. When they are negative, means never makes, this is an adverb, or let's say adverbial, that makes a sentence negative. So negative word means never makes it negative. So when they are negative, when statements are negative, we use positive tag, or let's say affirmative tag. So just opposite case happens. Yeah. So affirmative, negative, negative, affirmative. So it's already there. So negative statements, negative tag, affirmative statements, negative tag, negative statement, affirmative tag. It's very simple. So the other is commas. So this commas, always remember that we need to separate. So tail question or short question with comma, and they end with question mark, okay. Now start with auxiliary verb in small letters, and auxiliary verb should always be the first one, or let's say the first auxiliary. Now what is said here, start with auxiliary verbs in small letters. So have you noticed, like R, A, R, so A, does, D, have, H, don't, D, must, am, so can, see. So they are started with small letter, in small letters, okay. And auxiliary verbs should always be the first one. Sometimes what could happen, there could be more than one auxiliary in sentences, okay. In that case, we need to go with the first auxiliary. Yes, so we shouldn't choose the other auxiliary, but the first one. As this must have, we have two auxiliaries here, modal auxiliary and have auxiliary. We need to go with the modal, the first one, that must auxiliary, okay. Siru must, one more example is given there. So Siru must have done her work, mustn't see. Negative auxiliary are always in contracted forms. Now one more thing is that we have to contract, okay, or let's say short form of negative words there. So don't, not A, R, E, and O, T. We don't write in full form. We need to contract them. We need to make certain form of them, short form of them. Okay, aren't we? So don't they, mustn't he. Okay, not MUST and OT. We don't write in full words. Now negative auxiliary are, okay, this is already done. So use do, does, did in the absence of auxiliary verbs. As I have already told you that auxiliary is the word that we start tag questions with auxiliary, but what should we do when there are no auxiliaries? In that case, we need to take the help of do, does, did verb. Means it is a kind of auxiliary, do, does, did. Do is for plural present form, and does is for singular present form, and did is for past form. I think you know these things. So use comma before a statement or imperative sentence, and use a question mark at the end. So if you forget to give comma, or let's say to give question mark, you won't get full marks, okay. So this is you need to know this. So starts auxiliary tag questions start with comma and ends with question mark. Now structure is there. So auxiliary not, I have put these not, means that contracted form in bracket form, it is optional. Optional in the sense that if it is negative, then it's optional. It's optional means we shouldn't do that. We shouldn't mention them. If it's negative, then option means we shouldn't mention. If it's affirmative, then we need to give negative form of question tag. Now the other is subject pronoun. So we need to see what are the subjects there, and subjects aren't written but they're pronouns, okay. So we is already pronounced, so we, Julie, it's proper noun, no. So Julie is the name of a girl, that's why I have written here she. So babies, so they, so it's common noun, babies plural, so they. Suresh proper, that's why he. Pari, that's why she, okay. We mention subject pronoun. Okay students, what comes next? Let's see. So areas in text. Now what is the range of tag questions, or let's say what are the corners of the tag question that we must know about, so that we can make correct use of tag questions. There are 4 areas I have mentioned. So the first one is auxiliary, the second one contractions, the third one subjects, and the fifth one is imperatives. Are you ready? So auxiliary verb in tag questions. So always use the auxiliary verbs of the statements as auxiliary of tags. Means I have already told you. So means what is the auxiliary? We have to see there, like he can dance, can't he will come, won't he. Yes. So means auxiliary of statement is the auxiliary of tag question. So we can't use the different one. It's not the matter of choice, but we should know that. So we have to use the auxiliary of statements in the tag questions, okay. So can is there, that's why can't, okay. Now use the first auxiliary in case of multiple auxiliary verbs in the same statements. I have already told you, no. So Muna must have been working hard. Here means there is an occurrence of three auxiliaries: must, have, been. So what is mentioned here? First auxiliary, must. Okay, mustn't see. Do, does, did. In the absence of auxiliary, we need to use do, does, did, do, does. Those dances well. So dance, there is no what? No auxiliary. It's just the main verb, simple present tense. So what we need to do? We need to think that. So did, it is in present tense, so it doesn't take did. So do, does, two options are left as it is in singular form. Does is the singular form. That's why we write doesn't he. Now next one, did. So Chiring came late. So no auxiliary there. So how to realize it? Now in tag question we have to take, means did is there, past is there, that's why it came, come, came, come, it is the second form, did, that's why didn't see. Okay, what is the last one? Negative words like hardly, barely, scarcely, seldom, not, never, no, none. So these are now if you means what are these? These are negative words that make sense when they come in a sentence says, so they make sentences negative. Okay. So take affirmative auxiliary in tag question, means when they appear in sentences they take affirmative tag. For example, Ronit never comes late. So never. So it's a negative marker, negative word. That's why does he. Okay. So hope students you are enjoying the class. Now let's move to the other slide. Now let's see. Now I have already told you the second area is contraction. So contractions, Dolma. Let's see some examples on the board. So contraction means short form. So like instead of writing in full sentence, if you write not, then we have contracted the word not. Yes. If we write are, okay. So instead of are, so it is contracted form. Okay. These two are contracted form, means the short form. Now sometimes short forms are confusing. Okay, because the contracted form could means it could have multiple, means it could be multiple auxiliaries. So what are they? Let's see first. So Dolma cook food. So Dolma would. So this is the contracted form, right? So Suman would rather cook food. Okay, Suman would rather cook food. So what is next? Would rather cooked food. Suman would rather cook food. Junu would cooked food. Hemd better cook food. So Junu's cooking food. Junu's cooking food. Junu's cooked food. Yes, and are cooking food. They are cooking food. So now sometimes for the same contraction we use would, yeah, but sometimes had now and is. So apostrophious, okay, contracted from sometimes is, was, has. Now what is the reason behind these differences? So other they are cooking, aren't, and sometimes weren't. Now how to means when to use them? So what is the reason? What are the reasons behind them? Let's see. So hope you some of you already know these things. So however I have to recall the knowledge, I have mentioned the rules here. Contraction in tag questions. So would, it means would when there is infinitive form. I think infinitive form or the first form of verb, there is slight difference. Means infinitive form means like no any like what to say, no any inflections there. Okay, so inflections or suffixes, inflections there. So infinitive form means the root form, basic form. Okay, so I would infinitive, when there is would plus it is called infinitive form, then the verb form is in infinitive form. Now definitely we need to write, or let's say we need to say would. Okay, wouldn't see. So Dolma would cook food. And rather, when there is the means an adverb rather there, we need to go with again would there. But would, it makes had. Okay, in what case? When there is the third form. Okay, past participle form of verb. So would becomes apostrophe d becomes had when it comes with it is followed by B3, and when is the adverb better, it takes had again. Okay, rather apostrophe rather than, would apostrophe better than, had, sorry. So the next one is cooking. So here again present participle, here present participle form. So now they are when nothing is given, you can go with either of them, or let's say you isn't see or wasn't see. Okay, when these two are the situations. So when these words are not given, we could say either of them. But when this at time adverbial is given, now then it means is, and it means was. Okay, and third form, present perfect form, short form, apostrophe s, it means hasn't, see. And the next one, the last one is are cooking, again time adverbial. So yesterday, they are cooking, aren't they? They are cooking food yesterday. So they are cooking food yesterday, then weren't they? So hope students you got the concepts. So as presented on the slide, it's the same thing. So would, so these are the rules in details here, in details. Had, okay, so would infinitive form, would, wouldn't see, would rather, wouldn't see, would Bob 3 hadn't see, would better, hadn't he, means same thing, hadn't. So present time, before, present participle form. So cooking food now, so present time now, before past time, yesterday wasn't he, with present time adverbial isn't there. So and as plus V3, it means past participle. So cooked hasn't. So are present time with present past time, they mean aren't, are or were respectively. Now are you ready for the next third slide? So subject in tags, now they are confusing. So now way to use what, so there are multiple subjects in tags. It could be I, we, you, he, she, it. Okay, now first one, I am happy. So what is the subject here? I, it's very simple. I, then am I, aren't I am happy, aren't I? I am not happy, am I? It's correct tag is that, right? So here affirmative statement, negative tags. So I am happy, aren't I? Subject is I, subject in statements I. So Raju, you, they plus I. Okay, means means something, whatever is there, but when there is I at the end, means you, means I plus somebody else, then we means somebody else, means there should be we. Okay, so Raju and me, somebody and me, means I, so means we. Okay, aren't we? You plus somebody, now you plus, now speaking to second person, you and Rita, again it means you plus somebody, either that is Rita, he, they, or whatever comes with you plus and means you. Okay, you and somebody means, like you see an example is here, you and Rita, he, they can sing the song, can't you? Now other one. So now when there is singular males, singular, okay, singular means he is very simple. Daman, his brother, my father, Daman, his brother, father can sing, can't he? When there is singular males, singular female, she, Dilu, her sister, mother can sing, can't she? Is that clear? Now the other one, uncountable nouns, singular nouns, something, nothing, everything, this, that. So whatever are the subjects, these subjects means these things in statements, so we use it for them. Like milk is good for health, isn't it? The cow is a useful animal, isn't it? Okay, it is, what is it? It is uncountable noun. Milk, uncountable noun. Singular noun, the cow, singular noun, is a useful animal, isn't it? So something, nothing, everything. Okay, when there is thing, something, nothing, everything, we use like, but remember, so nothing is makes sentence negative. So something, then is it? Nothing is wrong, is it? Okay. So something, everything is missing, isn't it? Okay, this is my book, isn't it? Okay, so it's very simple. Next, oh, it's repeated there. Next, Students are learning English. Now they. Now when, so the students, someone, somebody, anybody, nobody, everybody. Okay. When these let's say indefinite pronouns, these are indefinite pronouns, and students are learning English, it's plural nouns. So when plural nouns occur in statements, so for as means in subjects we use they. Okay, plural nouns. Students are learning English, aren't they? And somebody, anybody, nobody, everybody, what are these? These are indefinite pronouns. Okay, indefinite nouns. Okay, pronouns. So took my pen, didn't they? So didn't they? So like took my pen, as it is in the past, it means, so for them we use they. Okay, so these are, remember, so for something, everything, nothing, we use it, but somebody, anybody, nobody, everybody, okay, so we use they. These are my pens. When we have these, those, we use again they. Okay, these are my pens, aren't they? Okay, okay, next one. Second last. So there, when there is there, what do we think we use? So there are my pens, aren't there? Okay, there are my pens, aren't there? There is my pet, isn't there? So sorry, question means mark is left here. So isn't there? And one must do their duties, mustn't one? So mustn't one. So one, then one, these, there. So these, those, plural nouns, all these things we use this, and in the other cases we use it. Now imperative tracks. So imperative tracks means, as I have already told you, imperatives means the sentences that starts with verbs, no? That start with verbs. So what verb, like shut the door, don't this. It could be negative imperatives as well, affirmative imperatives, negative imperatives, close the door, don't close the door. So show me your book, don't show me your copy. So is that clear? Or you could, and it could be let him go, let me do my work. Okay, so and others are, so let's dance, let's enjoy the party, let's go for watching movie. Okay, so these are imperative sentences. Imperative sentence means the sentences that start with verbs. So let's see. Now there are other means for means I have just collected two means here. Let's see. So come here, don't make noises, let me go. So whether the statements are imperative, or sorry, affirmative or negative imperatives, they take will you. Okay, they take will you. And the last one is let's dance and let's work together, they take shall we. It means let's dance means you plus somebody. So you are suggesting let's do something, let's work, let's dance, let's enjoy the party. Now you are suggesting someone, that's why it means you plus somebody, that's why shall we. Okay students, now there are some more things left. What do you think? So there was an exercise where we have to supply some question stack. Oh, you have already started doing this one. These, okay. Now we need to supply correct, appropriate question tags. Anudan never works hard. Now what do you think is the correct tag for it? So we saw some rule. So in the auxiliary section like areas, never. What do you think? So never works hard. So it makes means the sentence statement negative, no? So negative sentence, then affirmative tag, that's why works. And is there an auxiliary? No. So when there is no auxiliary, what do? We go with do, does and did. So it's in present form, so that's why do, does, and it's in singular form, that's why what do we say, what do we write? Does he, Anudan, perhaps it's a boy. So someone has come, so has come, or auxiliary is there, so has, someone. So what subject pronoun do you think we use? We use They, yes, you are right. So they, so has, and remember. So it's means it is they. That's why now we shouldn't write has here, because it's now it takes plural auxiliary. That's why we write haven't they. Right? So what is the next one? Let him play the music. Like let him play. So we are means like requesting someone. What do we write? Will you? And the other one, so what do we write? Don't run. So again, will you? Is it the one? So remember, it's small letter, right? Will you? Now Raj Kishore hardly recognized us. So what do you think? So hardly, have you noticed this word? Hardly, it makes statement negative, yes? So recognized. So recognized, oh sorry, so it is in past, no auxiliary, that's why we take the help of did here. So did he? Now next one, there was a lot of traffic. Was, so wasn't there? Wasn't there. Now next, there are a lot of people. Aren't there? Hope you have already done. Aren't there. Okay, let's have some tea. Now let's, it is different from this one. Okay, let's means you plus somebody. That's why what do we write? Shall we? And the last one is let the hermit convince. Will you? Will you? Okay, and let's wish. Shall we? And the last one, no one knows me there. No one, it's they. Now they, because now it takes they, and now it means the correct auxiliary for is no auxiliary there. The correct form of auxiliary is do. Okay, do they. Why do they? Because it is a negative affirmative. Okay, now last thing I would like to add. So there could be some expressions like I don't think, I believe, I think, I suppose, I know, I guess. Okay, so these are some this expression could be attached with some expressions. For example, like Anudan never works hard. Okay, Anudan, I think, when there is, I have told you what are the expressions. I think, or I guess, I believe, okay, I suppose. So now, so this is the actual sentence, means we need to means like, for example, I'll tell you one example. I think Anudan never works hard. Does he? We shouldn't go with like don't I. Okay, so these are just an attachment with those sentences. Okay students, hope you all got the concepts. And the last thing is, what you need to do is, now the last thing, go through any English text and copy them. Copy any 10 statements from the text and write question tags for each of them. Now it's a very good practice. If you do it, you will wonderfully learn. If you want to means you will learn it, as well as you will see how far you are correct, and show your answers to your teacher. So thank you so much students for being with me. Hope you enjoyed today's classroom and you recalled all the things that you know about tag questions. Okay, namaste, goodbye, see you again, have a nice day.